So this is a bit of an off-the-cuff type of video. I've got both of these hands free, which is good, because then I can do stuff. I just thought I'd give this a go. I'm gonna put this into there. Now this I'm gonna use as, well, what do you use these as? This is gonna be an output for the audio from FL Studio. Just one speaker. Okay, so negative and positive. This is, well, I haven't really planned this video out, so I don't know where this is gonna go. And not much room. Might even just leave it there like this. Trying to pinpoint the screw holes and I can't find it. All right, so I'm going to use this just to make sure that they're actually going into the hole. I don't want to be making a new hole. All right, these seem to be going in fine. What I'll do now is use this to get them all the way in. All right, so this now can maybe go over. I would put it somewhere. Okay, so before I worry about where I'm going to place that speaker, what I'll do is plug these in. I'm going to bridge this, and they are going to go into this. And now this, I don't really have a place for, so I've put it there. Turn this on, and then load up FL Studio. All right, so here we are in FL Studio, and what I'm going to do now is just try to make some sort of a track. That is what you would do in FL Studio. I might just move that speaker over here. All right, so this speaker is going to go over here like this. Now, what I was going to do first was I was going to load up FL Studio and then just start making some tunes. But I changed my mind and decided to do this. That way you get a quick preview of what the next speakers are going to be on the main channel. And I get to put up a video on this channel because I haven't posted on here in a while. This right here is in bridged mode. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to make music. Oh yeah, I did load up FL Studio, but I had to do something, so I'm back again. And now I'm going to load it up again. All right, so you should more or less be able to hear what this sounds like, I think. If you can't quite hear what it sounds like, I'm not going to know until afterwards. All right, I've decided I'm just going to put the speaker right there like this, and you'll be able to hear exactly how it sounds. So what I'll do now is I'll make some music. The music itself is not going to be mono. Producing it is going to be done with one speaker, so therefore mono. Originally, I was just going to load up FL Studio and make some music. So the video you'll see with this speaker is actually about a week old by the time you watch this, but right now is 5 days after that video was made. Patreon, if you're on Patreon, you will probably have seen it, but yeah, let's carry on with this. All right, so let's say you don't have a sub, you've only got speakers like these connected. So yeah, you should be able to hear this. It's just the bass you can't quite hear because I don't have a sub connected. So what I'm going to do right now is make a bit of a drum pattern. All right, so that's the kick I'm going to use. I use this kick quite a lot. Rename that to snare, and then mixer track 1, mixer track 2. What sort of BPM should I use? Maybe 120 or even 105. Okay, so we've got a kick and snare sorted out, and now we need a hat. And not just any old hat. We need one that is a stoner. So, in other words, hi-hat. I think that's good enough. Put that in there and HH, piano roll on the hat, and then we go to C5. Okay, so that is our first loop. And what I'll do is I'll just click it on there like this, as you can see. And we'll make 4 of these, so Control and B 4 times. Right, so I'll make number 2 unique. Back to the piano roll for the hats. What are we on? We're on 1/6. So I'll Control and U that after I select it. And that splits these up to 1/6. And I'll also make this one unique. Select it, and this one we'll do at 1/3 step. Control and U. Right, there we go then. Now we've got this little loop going on. How about maybe a bass line? Here we have a plugin named Citrus. I'll put this on mixer track number 10. Now let's see what sort of a melody we can come up with. New pattern and play. Alright, so I think I've got a little something going on, but it always changes when you're making music. So here we go, and record. Alright, so I'm not too sure about that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rearrange this. Alright, so I'm going to sidechain that bass, so maybe I'll low pass a bit of it first, EQ. I've also high passed from around 85 Hz. Alright, now a bit of sidechain, so send that to that track and then load up the limiter. Bring these down a bit. Compressor, say about there. So we add something else to it. All right, so we've got 3x oscillator. Send that to mixer track number 12. Sine wave. Okay, so this is going to be our bass line, and I don't usually use 3x oscillator. All right, so I'm going to load up an EQ on this, and we're going to see what sort of frequency this is putting out. That is around 55 Hz. Around 33. What I'm going to do is sort of match this up to this bass line that we've got going on here. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it into this one. So we've got this bass line going on now. I'm going to bring it down an octave and we'll see how that sounds. Probably not going to be able to hear it because it's just a sine wave and this is not a sub, but what we can do is touch it. That is another way to find out what your bass is doing. So I'm going to lower this an octave and we'll see what that's doing. There we go. Seems good enough. Let's make the volume a bit louder. Nice. It's definitely doing its job. So we've got between 30 and 45 Hz going on. So this one is about 45 Hz. And this one is around 30 something. Like about 32 or something. And combined, they sound more or less the same as it did. Through this anyway.
Nope.
Alright, so here we go then. New pattern, and I'm going to put this over there and then press record and go. So bring that up there like this, and this is what it is. So we'll just play this for a second. So as you'll be able to tell when I play these both together, they sort of clash a bit. And that is because of some of the frequencies in the sounds. So what I'm going to do is load up an EQ for this sound. Now the bass line that we did is fine, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the other instrument. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the EQ for the other instrument, which is this. And then I'm going to load up an EQ for that one. So this is for the sound that we've just done. And this is for the bass line. There are frequencies over here. And there are frequencies in the same area on this one. Over here, I'll reduce this by a few dB at 300 Hertz and we'll see how it sounds. Also, you may want to do the same for the other harmonics. Maybe not all of them, because that one's 300 Hertz. The next harmonics will be 6, then it'll go 12, 24, etc. All right, so that should be about it for that. So I'm going to sidechain the sine wave bass line and the other instrument that we've put in. I'm going to EQ that a bit more, so I'm going to load up another EQ on that and then probably lower some of these lower frequencies. Let's maybe high pass. Let's record something else. Put that there, hit record and I'll make sure the volume levels are equal. You can usually just sort of leave them as they are. That makes it a little more realistic. The same goes for the quantization. Alright, so that's done. Now we'll go on to another section of this track. Now I'm going to focus my attention on this part. So this has got to be different to that part. This can be like, I don't know, breakdown or foozy tube. No. I'll do the same for that one. Hats are quite prominent, you see, so I'm going to turn them down a little bit. All right, so let's change this bass line thing like this. This one is longer than that. Lower that as well, and then bring this back and basically just duplicate it 4 times or 3 times. And this last one, we need to half it. Apart from this one, now I know why this one was longer. I'm going to try this at a higher octave because I can't even hear it. Alright, so what I've added here is a clap. Also, I'll add another clap. Alright, so this I'm going to fade in. So we need to create an automation clip, and that is straightforward. And there we go, done. Alright, so over here there's going to be a bit of a pause in the hats and something else. Maybe this. And that. Alright, let's try that one. So I just want to reverse it and then put it over here. Something like that. Get rid of this side, send it to a mixer track. Alright, so there's more than one place you could probably put this reverse crash. Alright, so I'll put a crash over here, and then I'll send it to mixer track number 7, and I'll lower the volume on the mixer track as well. So it's quite a short crash as well, but what I'll do is I'll send it to the reverb track. And I'll turn down the volume a little bit on the mixer. Might even just stretch it a little bit. Set this to stretch and then stretch it. So at least this way, the snare hits before the crash ends and it sort of blends a little better. I might even add this reverse crash to the reverb track too. See how that sounds. Turning down the hats just a little bit. See how that sounds. Terrible. So what I've got here is the EQ for this instrument, and I'll just play that. So I'm just going to lower these frequencies a little bit because they seem to be clashing. Then I'll do the same to this one because this is a clone of that one. So here we have the unique one. Control B went to the wrong place. Control B went to the wrong place. And shift and drag instead. It's that. Sorted, sorted, sorted. I'm going to drag that reverse snare over to here. We're going to use and abuse it. And then over here, what I'll do is I'll just rearrange some of this stuff or maybe get rid of something. I'm going to get rid of this because I don't like it. And there we have the reverse snare again. Alright, so over here we'll have these claps going on. And we'll get rid of this beat. So the claps that are going to be going on are the higher pitched claps. And that means Control and B. There. Alright, so over here I might just switch it up a bit. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I'll change it and we'll have something else going on. Make this unique and make this unique and then change the colour of it blue. And we'll change the colour of this one to a darker blue. Sine wave, might just leave that as it is. Although it would help if I varied the bass line a little bit too. That's a bit of a change. I need to change this one as well. Bring that down. And we'll duplicate that and bring these hats back. Alright, I'll put this back again, this instrument, and we'll change it. Make that unique. Double click and... Okay, so now I'm going to add something else, and that is going to go here. I'll select about that much, move this back a little bit, and then I'll press record and play. Alright, so we've got this thing. Sounds like a police car. Put that there, lower the volume on it a little bit, and then duplicate. And that sounds like this. Yeah, I'm just adjusting the volume on that because it's quite a high pitch sort of sound. Not sure what else I can do to this right now, but I might just leave this here